can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so this is part 2. We're going to add the music and the sound effects. We're really going to make this thing come together to be a scene from a movie or something like that. So let's get to it. We've already, if you haven't watched part 1, by the way, we created this vocal stack to make a demon voice. So I highly recommend going to watch part 1 before you start with this. But now let's add the music and the sound effects and make this really come together. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this a little bit. This is where the music bed is going to go. So let me go find that. All right, so I found this on a music bed website. There's so many music bed websites and sound effects websites. You can find them all over the place. I think this would Soundstripe is where I found this music bed, and then SoundSnap is where I found the sound effects, I think. So let me just go ahead. And what I actually liked about this bed was the very end over here. So I'm actually just going to use the end of it because it was a big build and it sounded really good for what I'm doing. So let me just zoom in here. I'm having trouble with my keyboard. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to make these a little bigger so we can see here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to highlight all of my vocals and bring them up a little bit because I want the music to start before the voice does. So let me zoom in here and I'm going to have it end about right there. I'm going to pull the music bed out all the way and have it fade in a little bit like we're just hearing the start of a scene. So right now, the music bed is way too loud. It will just completely trample over the voice. So I need to turn this down a bit. So I'm just going to go down -15 dB. I know it sounds like a lot, but they master these tracks to be incredibly loud. So let's see how this sounds. It's probably still going to be too loud, but let's just find out.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right, that sounded pretty good, but it is a little loud, but I'm actually not going to bring it down, okay? I'm not going to bring down the volume of the track anymore because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to open an EQ, a parametric equalizer. And I'm going to create a little bit of room for the voice, okay? Because the body of a voice lives in your mids, okay? In the mids of an EQ, right? And a music bed, most of the time, creates a lot of low-end content and a lot of high-end content that a voice just doesn't really create. And so I can let the music bed have some low-end content down here and have some high-end content over here, and it's not going to ruin the voice that much. But I do need to duck a little bit of these mids so that my voice can come through. So let's do that. What we need to do is we're going to play through the voice, and we're going to find out where the voice is being, trampled by the music bed. So let's go ahead and let's do this really quick. I'm basically creating a magnifying glass to find where the problems are. So let's go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
All right. Around there, I'm going to dip it a little bit. Just going to let it breathe a little bit right there. And then now let's go over here and we're just going to keep doing this until we find places where we're like, okay, that's starting to get really problematic. So here we go.
There's nothing you can do to...
All right, right there. And this is ear training. Ear training is a really, really hard thing to get good at, but the more and more you do things like this, the more and more you practice, and even reading books and things like that that talk about this. I even have one in my recommended equipment page. I have a couple in my book section if you want to go check that out. But ear training is tough, and it takes years and years and years to get good at. I'm always trying to improve my ear training and will for the rest of my life. But I was hearing the music start to just kind of almost like just drown the voice out a little too much right there. So I was like, all right, I'm going to dip that. And then let's just keep doing this. Okay, I'm going to go to the beginning. And I'm going to try another one, and let's see where it becomes a problem. All right, I'm going to make it a little louder, and here we go.
There's nothing you can do to stop what...
Okay, I'm going to dip that just a little bit. All right, and let's see what that sounds like now. And it's not, we're doing things in stages. This isn't going to make a huge difference, but it's going to make a little bit of a difference. So here we go.
There's There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me.
All right, let's do a little before and after.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
Yeah, if you're wearing headphones and they're nice headphones, you could definitely hear a difference there, so it's doing something. But now, the next thing you could potentially do is add a multi-band sidechain compressor to create a dip for every time the voice speaks. Now, I don't think it's necessary for this track. This is a very short thing and it's not that big of a deal. So all I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna turn the volume of the music bed down just a little bit more and call it good. And I think we're totally fine. Let's listen to this. I want it to come up just a little bit.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.
Awesome. Okay. That sounds good to me. Now we need to start adding our effects to make it actually sound like a real scene. So this is where I have my fire set, so let me go find that. All right, and I went ahead and brought in my wood as well because I got a little bit of wood creaking in here just because, I mean, that's just sounds good for a horror scene. So I'm actually going to put that at the very beginning, and I'm going to take the fire, and you can see the fire doesn't last long enough, so we actually need to make this sound like it continues. So it's actually a very easy way to do this. First things first, I'm going to go ahead and turn it down a bit, and we'll find out what's good once we play everything. But I'm going to solo this, and we need to just keep it going. So in my head, I just heard a house being burnt down. Maybe they're trying to kill the demon inside and they're burning the house down. I don't know. That's just what I saw in my head. So I wanted that to be playing here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt and I'm going to pull another track out here. Okay, so this is going to keep it going. But if I were to just put them together, it might work, but you might hear a brief, clip or something like that. So let's see if we hear that. Oh, this one was done very well and you don't actually hear a difference in there. But just for safety, what you would normally do in a lot of circumstances, let me make this bigger again. In a lot of circumstances, you would want to go in and you would want to create a tiny little crossfade like this. In some cases, it actually makes it obvious that you've done something, but it just depends on the take. So let's see what this sounds like. Awesome, you can't even hear a difference. Okay, so we're good to go there. All right, so that's our fire, and I'm actually gonna take this, and I'm gonna end it right there, and fade it out just a little bit, and let's see what that sounds like at the end. All right, I don't want the wood burning right at the end. I want it fading just a bit, so let's see. All right, cool. I like that. Okay, so now let's see what the wood sounds like at the very beginning. Okay, yeah, I really like the way that sounds. Okay, and I mean, that's basically it. I mean, not a whole lot to this. I could definitely get way more critical and I could spend a lot more time on this and do small things here and there. But I mean, for what it is, for this short little snip and scene, I think this sounds great. So let's listen to everything all together now.
There's nothing you can do to stop what's coming. Leave this place or join me forever.